R&B singer Ari Lennox is talking about Martin Lawrence and the show Martin. And she is basically stating that the way Martin talked about Pam on the show, it really made her feel some type of way. Okay. And she has a right to feel how she feels. And I'm not going to take anything away from her. But this is what I have to say about that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Martha. On this channel, I talk a little bit about politics, pop culture, all of the things. Martin talked about everybody on that show. He did. He talked about everybody on the show. And I don't think he really said anything about Pam and her color of her skin and all of that, because this is truly about colorism, what she's talking about, because she's a dark-skinned woman, beautiful woman. But this is about colorism, truth be told. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. By her being a dark-skinned woman, Pam being a dark-skinned woman on the show, she felt like Martin was always coming at Pam, you know, just talking about her and things like that. But from my understanding, I don't think he ever talked about her complexion, called her out of her name in regards to the color of her skin, any of that, you know. So I'm just a tad bit confused on this, because this is one of the reasons why you do not need to rely on anyone in Hollywood to make you feel good about yourself. And that's the God honest truth. You should not be hoping and wishing and praying that somebody in Hollywood is going to make you feel a certain type of way. This is something that you need to have already kind of build up in yourself. Your parents should have built this up into yourself, your mother, your father. Even if it was just mom was there, no father there. This is something that should have come from your parents, your people, your family. Granted, some people didn't have that support system like that for someone to just break it down and talk about colorism and just giving a young girl loving care in regards to the complexion of her skin, all of those things, you know. And I can tell you all the story because my mother was a dark-skinned woman, darker than I am. And when she was growing up, she didn't know her mom. My grandmother had over 12, 13 kids. My mother was one of the 3 of the oldest girls. Those 3 were sent off to live with relatives. So my mother didn't even know who her mother was until she got older, and when she had me and my sister, and when she found out the deal, how everything went. I was born in the South. We moved to Michigan to actually meet my grandmother so my mom can know who her mother was. Granted, again, my mother was a very dark-skinned woman, and when she met her siblings, they were a multitude of color of women and brother, different shades. And my mother probably was the darkest out of all of them. And I remember growing up and seeing how her siblings, these are grown people now, how her siblings would joke about her complexion. Now, mind you, now these are grown people. I remember this as a child, seeing this and hearing this, them talking about my mother complexion. So I know exactly where she's coming from with that. I get it. And even my sister is darker than I am, you know. So I understand where she's coming from with it. And it just goes back to instilling that knowledge into you and that loving feeling into you that you are a beautiful Black woman. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about colorism. So Ari Lennox felt like Martin was so hard on Pam because of her complexion, the color of her skin. But he never joked about the color of her skin. He was just on her because who she was. You know, he would say, call her Beady Bead and all of that, talking about her hair and stuff like that. But he joked about everyone that was on the show, every last single one of them. But again, you cannot rely on anyone in Hollywood to make you feel a certain type of way. But I know where she's coming from, absolutely. But I'm just a tad bit confused on why she's talking about that now. You know, and if you don't know who Martin is, you've been living under a rock. You know, every Black person should know who Martin Lawrence is in the show Martin. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, comment below and tell me what your thoughts are on this. Like, comment, and share the video. And I will see you guys in the next video.